episodes 5 and 6.
5 and
we
6.
Have double whammy episodes this week. We have so much to talk about. But before we go any further, if you're watching right now, please hit that red subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Pop Hearts TV. And also, I'd like to give a big shout out to Gigolosophy for making us so beautiful.
How cute are these? Yeah.
We love these initial necklaces. They are so chic and adorable. And now Sarah and I finally have the friendship necklaces we've always wanted. If you guys want to get a friendship necklace with us,
you have to talk about the Bachelorette for hours.
Yes. Tune in with us, but also go to gigolosophy.com. The link is right somewhere over there. They have the cutest jewelry. So thank you again for making us look adorable. Now, while we recap all the episodes this week, we want you guys to chat with us. We want to know what you loved, what you hated, who's hot to you this week, who's not so hot to you this week. I have some changes of heart, that's for sure, and I know I'm not alone. Yeah, definitely. So tell us what you're feeling. We want to chime in. We want to chat with you.
Yeah.
So let's get started, huh? We got a lot to cover.
We have a lot. We have 2 episodes worth of drama to unfold.
And I think the first things first, we have to address the elephant in the room, which is the Lee and the Kenny drama.
Yeah, which I felt was a little unnecessary.
It was totally orchestrated and really irritating.
It was really bad. So, I mean, we literally started the first episode, we started and ended it with the Lee and Kenny drama. Like, it was throughout the entire thing. Like, we could not escape.
So we started out where they were feuding at a group date.
Yep.
And it was during the cocktail hour.
And we were still in Hilton Head then, right?
Correct.
We were in Southern
South
California.
Carolina, budget cuts.
I said Southern California.
It probably is the same. I don't know. I haven't been to South Carolina. If you're watching from South Carolina, chime in and say how close you are to Hilton Head. And also, where is Hilton Head?
Geography is not our strong suit, but The Bachelorette is.
So Kenny and Lee are sort of feuding. It's basically just Lee is pushing Kenny's button, and also Kenny is really easy to rile up.
Right.
Chill out, dude. Be the better man. Just let it go.
I'm wondering if it has to do, because he keeps saying he's not aggressive whatsoever, right?
Right.
He's a wrestler. For a living. I mean, you have to be a little bit aggressive to do that kind of profession, right? Yeah. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Like, he's aggressive, right?
Well, and I think it was Eric or somebody had mentioned that, you just don't call a dude aggressive. Like, it's a hot button topic, and I get that. And Lee knew how to get under his skin, but you're correct. Kenny's a performer. He's a wrestler. He should be able to see through Lee's garbage 100%. And know not to feed into it because he was feeding into it.
And and I think, I don't know, usually the guys that's what they do to each other. Whereas the women get really catty and they call each other names and they're just constantly bickering back and forth. Yeah. The men just do it in like a really sly way. So Lee knew what he was doing. He was sitting back, he was cool, he was calm, and he was just throwing those little words in there that he knew would set Kenny off.
Throughout the episode, Lee's hair got exponentially taller and straighter and pointier.
It was like his ego was getting bigger and his hair was getting bigger.
It was like Jimmy Neutron's hair by the end of the episode.
It totally was. And oh gosh, he just had this smirk on his face the whole time that irked even me. I was sitting there and I was bugged by it. It was bugging me so much. So
Lee knew that he was playing a part and he knew exactly what he was doing. And I think he realized pretty quickly that there was no real chemistry with him and Rachel. So he wanted to just leave. I think he was being really strategic, and I'm not saying this is right, but I think he was just trying to leave his mark on the show. And this could be the perfect segue for him to be invited to Bachelor in Paradise as a villain.
Right. Which I don't think that he is because of all the drama outside of the filming. But that was probably his thinking during the Bachelorette, right? He was totally trying to get his place on.
15 minutes.
Yeah, he needed his 15 minutes.
Well, his 15 minutes came and went because he made it through that first rose ceremony, but then they go on a 2-on-1 date, Kenny and Lee, of course, and the way they promoted it was like there was a showdown and there would be images of Kenny bleeding, and of course we were supposed to believe that some sort of fight goes down during the 2-on-1, but of course ABC, you tricked us. There was no fight during that 2-on-1.
There was nothing.
And in fact, they just went on a date in the middle of the woods, and
it actually wasn't that
really
dramatic. Yeah. Well, and then we have, Lee gets sent home, but then Rachel wants to spend more time with Kenny, and it really bugged me that he got out of the helicopter, right? He walked her back, went back to say his piece with Lee, and I thought it was cool that she still kept him because, she had chemistry with him.
I I was convinced she was gonna send
him home right then.
Yeah, if I were Rachel, okay, before I go any further, if you were Rachel in that situation, tell us what you do.
What would you do?
If I were Rachel, when Kenny went to go say his piece with Lee, that was unnecessary. I would have leaned
copter's
over.
gone.
Yes, that's what I wanted Rachel to do. I wanted her to tell the pilot, we can leave now.
Goodbye.
Kenny can stay here. If he cares more about feuding with Lee than building a relationship with her, then clearly he's not there for the right reason.
Totally. I did not like that whatsoever. I don't know, but then we see them later on when she does give him the rose, and he was kind of, letting his walls down and everything, and it was a good moment, right? And you see that he is kind of a good man. Not kind of, he is a good man. He just has this side to him that kind of, I think, is set off. But
he's a difficult guy to love all the time because he gets really
Aren't we all?
I don't know what you're talking about. My mom has never been irritated with me ever. I'm the most perfect angel ever. No, I think Kenny is just somebody who has a really strong personality. And we talked about this last week with when it came to whether he was right for Rachel. I don't really know, just because I pictured him being threatened by her success.
100%.
And
he got threatened really easily with Lee. So I think, I don't know. Rachel can be a little threatening, right? Because she's so strong and powerful, and he may have felt a little diminished by that.
Yeah, and the thing is, the great thing about Rachel is that, she doesn't need a man. Yeah. It's just convenient to her that she's on The Bachelorette getting a dude. Totally. But her life is 100% fantastic without it.
She's good without it.
That's what makes her so great.
Right.
But she ended up more or less mutually agreeing with Kenny to go home.
Yeah.
And it was brought up because he was talking about his daughter and how he misses her, and then she kind of was like,
I thought it was like a kind of a sweet moment. I mean, neither of them were fighting about it. Sometimes the guy or whoever it is on the other side, because they've done that before where they've had parents who really miss their kids and they tell them, go home, and they kind of fight it and they're like, no, I still want to be here. And he was like, you know what? I respect that. I miss my daughter. I'm going to leave in doing my own piece. So, we have Mallory Moore.
Mallory Moore says Kenny is not right. Now, okay, Mallory, I need you to clarify. Do you mean he's incorrect about something, or you don't like Kenny?
Can we get clarification here, Mel?
Help us out. What is Kenny not right about? I probably agree with you, but we'll see. Maybe she means not right for Rachel.
Oh, that's a good
case, one. Maybe producer Heather is implying that she means sleazy.
I think
if we're going to and Jenny Horton says Lee is on Paradise.
No, he's not on Paradise.
Let's clarify. Producer Madison says, Jenny Horton says, she does not want Lee on Paradise.
I don't think any of us do. None of us do.
I want Paradise to just be filled with funny people who are getting drunk and hooking up. I don't want any angry people.
Can we pause for 2 seconds to talk about Paradise really quick, because we're bringing it up? So
Paradise pause.
Did we all see that the contestants now have to ask producers for permission to use the Boom Boom Room?
Wait, so they call it the Boom Boom Room?
They
Just
literally call
Shore?
it that. Yeah, absolutely. It's called that. It's like Jersey Shore. And now
that's amazing.
They have to ask permission to use it. So a little late night fun, but
you know what? I'm a fan of that. Here's why. If they have to ask producers permission to hook up, that means we as viewers are going to be getting more juicy details out of the show.
Yeah. And
presumably it's going to be all consensual. And I love it.
We are for that. Okay, so we have clarification now. Mallory says that Kenny is not right for Rachel. However, she would get ice cream with him. So I think that means he's like a good dad, like a good guy, but probably wouldn't date him.
I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't get ice cream with Kenny because I feel like Kenny's the kind of guy who just talks about himself.
Yeah, I see that.
So if I was hanging out with Kenny, there would need to be alcohol involved where I'm only half listening.
Should we talk about someone who maybe
only talks about themselves?
Yes.
I knew exactly where you're going with that.
I was going to go to Jack.
Oh, Jack.
Actually.
That's fine.
And I was going to talk about how creepy he was in staring at Rachel the entire time. He was not even into himself whatsoever because, he was a little creeping out on his one-on-one.
So, I thought thought Jack was really adorable in the pilot when we saw his little intro video about being an attorney in Dallas, and he just seemed like a potential winner in the sense that he was very vanilla. There was nothing that was a red flag about him.
Right.
He's not a tickle monster. And he's an attorney in Dallas. On paper, I think Rachel even said that. On paper.
He looks great.
He's perfect for her. But his one-on-one date, he was way too nervous.
He was way too nervous. He was incredibly boring. I mean, he made Ben Higgins look exciting. And I know, it's so bad.
Poor Ben.
But no, seriously, I mean, and he said the creepiest things. He was like, she said, what, if you had one day with me away from these cameras, what would you do? And he's like, I would lock you in a bedroom and just lay there all day and talk to you.
Potentially the creepiest answer to that
Creepiest answer, most boring answer I've ever seen. I was like, I can think of 10 million things I'd rather do than sit in a room with him and just talk to him.
I have a feeling that Jack actually has a really fun personality.
I think so too.
And he was putting on a front that whole date. He was trying to come across as the sweet, handsome, serious bachelor. I think he was trying to be what he thought Peter is like. And he did it really wrong. Nobody can be like Peter.
No one can compete with Peter. He is an angel.
A silver fox.
Yes.
I may be biased, but a silver fox.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
From Wisconsin.
He's gorgeous.
But Jack there was zero chemistry. The saddest part about it was how he was telling the camera how much chemistry he felt, and then how much.
They always do that, though.
Rachel was telling the camera there was zero chemistry. It was pretty painful to watch his date. I even had my boyfriend, who is a fan of the show but won't admit it, watching, and he was yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
It was painful for everybody.
That was one of those moments you kind of tuned out. It just wasn't exciting.
Especially the part where they were standing on the dock and they were sort of holding hands and hugging, and then he kind of kissed her. It was I would say one of my most awkward moments to watch.
That's my biggest fear if I ever go on a Bumble date, right? Is that entire date right there was my biggest fear. It's so boring.
Well, now you just saw how it would end.
Hopefully it never happens to me.
You would live through it. So in that episode, she sent home Jack. She doesn't give him the rose. In the cocktail ceremony, she ends up sending home, or I'm sorry, not the cocktail ceremony. She skips that, goes to the rose ceremony.
Yeah.
She sends home Iggy.
Why was he even still there?
Exactly. He was sort of a drama queen, but not really. And then the tickle monster. Startling that the tickle monster made it that far. I will say pretty impressive. But it was time to go, tickle monster.
I want to know, does anyone in our audience know what the tickle monster's real profession is? Because I'm really curious. Can we get someone to Google that? Because I'm really interested. Does he literally tickle people for a living? Because I'm really curious.
That sounds illegal. I don't know if it is, but
it's a little R-rated.
There's not a lot of consent going on with tickling. Almost nobody is come here and tickle.
There is a theme with consent happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of lack of consent going on. So then we play handball. And it's a weird group date where all the guys are in onesies, and that's really all I could think about.
The only thing I can even take away from that was how cute Peter was when he picked Rachel up. He has this theme of picking her up and putting her over his shoulder, and I'm like, oh, I just want to put him in my pocket.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get as close to her butt as possible in front of a group of guys. Which she has an amazing body.
I love him.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
If you guys follow Rachel on Instagram, she shares videos of her working out, and I went down a black hole for 20 minutes of being that's how she gets that amazing body. The more you know. So then she took all the guys that are left and she took them to Norway. Funsies.
Fun.
It's about time that the show upped their budget and took them abroad.
Went international finally.
Because Hilton Head, South Carolina, or North Carolina? No,
I'm surprised that they weren't in I was going to say Wisconsin, then realized you're from there. So.
I would like to say that Wisconsin's actually a very beautiful and majestic state for 3 months of the year. And this is one of those months right now.
Go Pack, go.
That's right. Go Pack and go Peter. So we're in Norway, and then we get some one-on-ones that are
good and bad.
Good and bad, definitely. So the first one I want to talk about is Eric. He was good.
So cute. Okay, so we were both surprised by him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last week, or maybe the week before, I was hating on Eric because he did this weird little thing where he clearly wasn't listening to Rachel and he just was trying to hug up on her.
Yeah.
And this week was so cute. Wait, breaking news. Somebody watching has something to say about the tickle monster. He is actually a doctor. What? But currently unemployed, according to romper.com. Thank you for that.
I have never heard have an unemployed doctor.
That's what I was going to say, because there is, I believe, a shortage, so that makes me wonder if he just shouldn't be a doctor. Because he's too busy tickling his patients.
Who knows? Who knows?
I'm glad we cleared that up. Thank you for whoever researched that for us. Oh, there's more. Oh. It's on his LinkedIn.
Oh.
What? Wait, so now we need to find his real name, and everybody should add him on LinkedIn, because let's be honest, nobody knows anybody on their LinkedIn.
Does it just say like his most recent job is unemployed?
Oh no, actually,
do we think that they put like their Bachelorette season like contestant number on their LinkedIn?
Oh boy, I
feel like that's something I would do.
But I just got really worried because I'm on Covered California, which isn't exactly known for being the best healthcare, and I feel like people like him are the kind of doctors.
You're gonna go in and get tickled.
I'm gonna get tickled during my physical exam. He's practicing family medicine. Yep, that means he could potentially be a doctor.
No wonder he's into Elmo.
I feel really good about going into my next physical and getting tickled by the tickle monster.
Okay, so back on route.
Back to Eric. His one-on-one was so great.
Right. Well, because she has all of these super serious conversations with all the guys. Like, I feel like she hasn't really let loose, even though she's really fun. And her and Eric just like... She said it was like two high school sweethearts just on a fun first date. And it was so cute. They were at a fair. They were hanging out. They were just having a great time. And I was like pleasantly surprised. I was shocked.
That date made me think that Eric, he probably won't win, but it makes me think he could maybe go to the Final Four for Hometown.
I was going to say Final Four.
He brings out a side of her that nobody else does.
Right.
And it's refreshing.
It's cute. And I was just saying, I stalked him on Instagram after the episode. He's got like a full beard now. Ooh. Looks so handsome.
Wow.
And he spent like the last 2 nights on Skid Row giving meals out to the people living along.
Homeless people?
Yeah, to the homeless people of LA living on the streets. And I was like, okay, fine. You go all the way.
Most eligible bachelor of all those bachelors.
No,
that's
seriously,
wonderful.
Really sweet, and I think he has a lot more personality than we've seen.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
I always thought he seemed a little like a fish out of water. Like all the other dudes were, these kind of well-to-do attorneys and doctors. And then Eric seems like the kind of guy who's like, I sell insurance.
Yeah.
And I never left my hometown. But I think he's a little smarter than he lets on. And he has an amazing personality. And I'm a huge fan now. So I was really happy with that one-on-one as well.
And it's always a theme, too, I feel like on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. Like someone you think who's not going to make it all the way, always, all of a sudden, there's this episode, and it clicks for you, and they end up at the final rose or something like that. Yep. So, hey, maybe he does. Go
Eric.
So sweet.
He was so sweet. So, of the other one-on-ones we saw, there was Brian. He went in repelling date, and you guys, I don't know if you caught this.
We caught it.
Rachel Lindsay was wearing heels
while she was rappelling down like a building, a skyscraper.
That seems dangerous to me. It seems irresponsible on behalf of ABC to let the Bachelorette wear heels.
You have a stylist.
She's repelling.
You have a stylist. Could they not put some tennis shoes on you? Like there are cute tennis shoes these days.
Yes, athleisure wear is very big right now. Outdoor Voices is my favorite.
JoJo was really good about that. She did her entire season in athleisure.
She sure did, but she was wearing sports bras and nothing else, so she still made it sexy.
Yeah, I know.
Jenny Horton says it was terrifying. Jenny, were you on this date as well? I was not terrified. You guys were terrified. You guys, it's The Bachelorette. If somebody got hurt or died, we would have heard about it.
And we talked about this, though. He probably put he was scared of heights on his application. Yeah. And then they were like, we're going to have you rappel down a 5,000
just like Dean. Yep. Dean also scared of blimps and heights. So yeah, Brian got that. I have to say, I've hated on Brian a lot because I felt like he was not thinking about consent when kissing Rachel. I felt like his kisses were a little
Her face didn't
aggressive.
consent to that. No.
But it seems like Rachel's on board, and I'm starting to drink the Kool-Aid with Brian because he does seem like a fun, charming guy.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's going to win.
No. I mean, let's be honest. Who's going to win?
Peter. But I don't want him to win because I want him to call me.
Who's going to win? I mean, I really think Peter's going to win. Give us who your top 4 will be.
Yeah, can we have everyone give us their, give
us your top 3, because
top
Peter.
3, top 2.
Yeah, make sure Peter's in there.
If Peter's not in there, don't comment. I'm just kidding. Please comment.
Always comment. We want to hear what you think, but we really think Peter's going to win. I do think Brian would make it to Hometowns, though.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I don't know. Do we know where he's from?
Miami.
Oh. You're good.
I remember his like intro video. Really
okay.
well.
We skipped over something really important though. The 3-hour makeout session in the bathtub between Peter and Rachel. 3 hours, and they even said that, and then he doesn't get the rose. I was like,
I had to take a cold shower after watching that. Here's the thing. It went from, can we go outside, to in a hot tub, heavy making out, and there was some body rolling going on.
There was a lot of body rolling going on.
I was digging it. I wanted them to start playing Genuine or something. It was great. The magic was happening.
No, absolutely.
3 hours. Comment below, when was the last time you had a 3-hour makeout session? For me, I was probably 16. I can't remember ever doing that.
I don't think ever.
3 hours is too long to do anything.
How do you like have patience for that? I mean, what? Okay.
Well, good for you, Peter and Rachel. We're really happy that you guys did that. So then the other one-on-ones that Rachel had was with Will. Ugh, Snooze City.
So boring.
And he went out of the way to make himself really unlikable by telling her that he had never dated a black woman before. Hey, here's a note for you, Will. Maybe don't single out the woman you're on a date with while on a date with her. Wherever.
That was absolutely terrible. And right in her mind, I saw a tweet she put out about it, and I'm trying to remember what she said, but she responded to someone that said they were shocked in that moment, and she's like, if you felt that way, imagine how I was feeling. I mean, she felt just totally taken aback.
If she had asked him point blank, have you ever been with white women? Have you ever been with black women? Then
he'd answer it.
But he brought up the topic. It was just very unwarranted.
It was weird too how they were talking about how they had like similar backgrounds but were raised differently. It was just very odd. I don't know. It felt weird.
He was sort of trying to like show that he has like status or something. Like, oh, well, I was raised in a suburb where there are no other people.
Your houses are all
white.
The same. Yeah,
like,
how boring. I mean, come on, live a little.
Anyways, we're clearly not fans of Will.
Yeah,
he got sent home. He didn't get the rose. So then we also had the Viking showdown. I don't know what you want to call it.
Which is where blood happened.
Kenny got the bloody eye.
Blood happened there.
Yeah, it basically was Dean and Kenny who were just hitting each other. They were dueling.
Right.
But the way that the last couple episodes were edited, it implied that blood, that cut eye on Kenny, came from Lee. And I'm not a fan of being deceived by producers.
Did you believe it though? Did you actually believe it?
I knew that blood wasn't from the 2-on-1.
America is smarter than the Bachelor and Bachelorette producers think we are.
Yeah.
We knew that's exactly what happened. I thought the star of that entire segment was Dean.
Dean's #1 fan is sitting right next to me. So Dean, if you're watching, she's single.
I am.
And she's on Bumble. Very. So find her.
We've matched, Dean. We have matched and we have talked. If you're watching this, I want you to know. Okay. Anyway.
Producer Heather and producer Madison are very unimpressed with the direction of this episode right now. Comment below your thoughts on Dean, because Sarah's a big fan.
I need to know if there are other Dean fans out there, because for some reason I feel like I'm in a fan club of one. And I'm okay with that.
I think people who are fans of Dean are like Dean, and they're kind of quiet and keep to themselves.
Oh, well. He's got a new type. But he was so cute, and he was being hilarious, acting like, I don't even know. Like
he's like a little boy.
Yes, but it was kind of cute. It was fun. He was having a good time, and they take this show so seriously. I was like, finally, someone.
Yeah, some enjoyment.
Giving a laugh.
Dean looks like he's going to be the star of the next Nicholas Sparks movie. That's just my thoughts.
My Nicholas Sparks love story.
All right. Let's wrap this up, shall we? Okay. So we get to the rose ceremony. There's a couple of rose ceremonies. The first one, she sent home Josiah and Alex. I was surprised by both. Josiah, he's been a pretty integral part of the show so far. Alex, not so much. I thought he was really cute, though. You don't even remember him. He was the one who had like the intro video in the beginning where he's speaking Russian to his parents.
I think someone named Matt still on the show?
Yes, Matt is the one.
So Matt didn't go home. Okay.
No, he didn't, and I don't understand why.
Am I the only person who cannot keep this straight? I mean,
No. Because the only people that matter
are Peter and Dean. the only people I pay
attention to.
And
also Eric. Now Eric's in that category.
Yeah, Eric's in our top. I think that's our top 3. I think we just decided it's Peter, Dean, and Eric.
Yeah, and then Brian would be number 4, I think, in my eyes.
Yeah.
Josiah got sent home, which shocked me, but also not so much because in the last 2 episodes, I don't know about you guys, but I think he's just been coming across as really cocky and hard to like.
Yeah.
And with somebody whose story at the beginning of the show was about how he's overcome so much difficulties in his life, and you know, he lost his brother, and he went to jail as a kid, and then now he's a prosecutor. You want to be on his side, but like,
yeah, you wanted him to be a little soft, I felt like, and he wasn't. He was kind of going for it, and he was saying some I don't know, some stuff the guys would say to you at the bar. That's the way I'm gonna describe it in a PG level.
Rachel caught on to that real quick.
Yeah.
Now I have to say, when Rachel was letting guys go home this week, I feel like she was giving really solid, real explanations.
Yeah, I liked it.
It made me love Rachel Lindsay.
No, I know. Yeah, and she's
smart, and she's real. She really is real.
And I feel like she knew how it felt to get sent home and kind of have this big question mark. And I still, like, for some reason, even though I'm not Nick's biggest fan, felt like they had such a connection, and she was totally blindsided. So I bet she learned from that, and she's like, I don't want to let these guys go home and have, you know, no idea why or have any question marks left, right? I feel like she's been really good about that.
And I really appreciate how upfront she's been about she's doing what she feels is best, even though she knows it might not be the best image for her, because there's been so much expectation of her being the first Black Bachelorette. And somebody made a comment about how she's letting even more Black guys go, and it seems like the group is a majority white men. And she said, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but I'm just doing what feels right to me. And I applaud her, because that's really brave. It's already, there's so much pressure in being a bachelor or bachelorette. And she is 100% doing everything so honestly and so real. That's the way the show should be, and that's the way the producers should really be thinking about when they cast these people.
100%.
They shouldn't be trying to put them in a box and create a storyline for them, because they don't know their own hearts.
Yeah,
you know.
I feel like she's going.
Rachel's heart, but her own.
I feel like she's one of the first ones to maybe go against the grain a little bit and go against the producers and say, nope, this is what I'm doing. You guys cannot force me to keep anyone. You can't force me to make any decisions I don't want to. So I feel like she's.
And in a likable way, unlike Juan Pablo, who went rogue. And nobody liked him.
We don't speak of Juan Pablo.
So that was it. So we saw Josiah, Alex, Will, who else? Kenny, and Lee get sent home.
We had a lot go home.
Yeah, that's 5 dudes. So now we're getting to like a core group. Things are getting really juicy. The teaser seemed a little stressful. It was a lot of Rachel crying and Peter blaming himself for it, which broke my little heart.
We know he didn't do anything wrong. Let's just put that out there. We know. We can all agree on that.
What do you guys think? I am curious what made her cry, though. So I want to hear what you guys thought about the tears, because I can't really figure it out. Usually I can kind of debunk the
figure out what's coming next. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
So I'm definitely going to be watching.
Maybe DeMario shows up in Norway with another girlfriend.
Bad joke. Bad joke.
You're right. I'm sorry. Poor timing. Maybe Kenny shows up in Norway.
There we go. With his daughter.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, if you haven't already, follow us on all the social media channels at Pop Hearts TV. Sarah, tell everybody where they can follow you.
S London 23 on both Instagram and Twitter. I'll be there. And what about you?
Follow me on Instagram at Kylie Hodges and Twitter at the Kylie Hodges. And again, my necklace, so cute. Thank you, Gigalosophy. You're the best.
So cute.
And see you guys next week. Mwah!
We'll miss you.